Hey LinkedIn, Andrew here. Trying something new with videos. I'm going unscripted. And I want to talk about something today. I had a recent experience that made me think, does a security audit make your business more secure? So here's a scenario. You're an executive in a small, or in this case, almost medium sized business with maybe a couple few hundred employees. And you're concerned about the security of your network and your systems and data breaches, and you read all the news. So you figure, I'm going to have a security audit come in. I'm going to check everything out, and then I'm going to do whatever they tell me to do. In this case, a vendor was brought in. They did a security audit. We're the IT services provider in there, RXIT. And we're the ones who get to work with them. We see what their results are. In the end, they said, hey, those guys are doing a pretty good job. Here are some things you need to address. And from there, the client gave us a list of things that needed to be addressed that the security audit found. And when I looked at the report, the things that really struck me were the security audit was really an audit of internal systems. They came in, they dropped something on the network, they scanned it, they asked for administrative access from us as well. They looked at the systems. And then based on that, they made a here's what you're doing great, here's what's not so great, here are some things you should fix. And a lot of those were legitimate. Nobody's perfect. We're cool with that. We'll take that list and we'll work it. A lot of those things are not even financial, they don't cost any money. Just fix this. And some of those things require some controls you may not have had before or software to be purchased. So we need to evaluate those things. Do we need a system? Should we do this? How should we do it? But the part that really struck me about this was there was a whole side of the business that wasn't really considered. Especially during this COVID stuff, the entire office was empty. And even though they have some internal systems, they have a VPN, they looked at those things. The other part of the business was the entire cloud part of this client. And you may not think of those things, but every business is buying some cloud today. So while a business might not be totally cloud, they're buying some. Almost everybody we work with is using Microsoft Cloud and Office 365. That's what we do. And those systems, as well as file sharing systems, this client had some other systems that were what you might call shadow IT in our business, where the business units are using the systems, but IT isn't supporting it. And they didn't scan those systems at all. They didn't look at the security of their Microsoft Cloud, Office 365. They didn't uncover the systems that were shadow IT that the business units were using to share files. They didn't look at whether mobile devices were encrypted. Is there a risk of data breach? How do people use mobile phones? They focused on scanning the internal network and finding stuff that wasn't patched or needed to be updated, or small configuration changes needed to be made. And that stuff's important. I don't want to downplay it. When something needs to be fixed, we fix it. It's not a big deal. We can handle that. But the part that still kind of sticks in my jaw is that this company didn't really come in and understand how a client works, where their vulnerabilities are, what kind of data is important to them. And they may not have been contracted to do that, so I'm not blasting any particular security vendor. I'm not even saying that they didn't do what they were supposed to do. All I'm saying is that this was a case where a vendor came in, they've provided a analysis and report, and in the end, the client is going to talk to their IT service provider and implement everything that was recommended or not. But eventually they'll feel like, well, we've been audited. We've looked at these things that they brought up and we've addressed each one of them. But in the end, are they really more secure? And I'm not sure. there are some things at this particular company that I've been pointing out for some time, but it hasn't been considered a real risk. And those things have a lot to do with cloud systems. And cloud systems are accessible from everywhere by anybody on any device. And we secure those through identities and other ways. We don't secure them the same way we secure the office. And to only look at one side of the business, I think is a real disservice. And at the end of the day, they're really selling a feel good for an executive without truly improving the standing of a company. I'm not even sure that a security audit can really do that, can really understand how a company works. I think your IT service provider understands that if you outsource your IT. And you really ought to talk to them about that. Anyways, just a thought of mine. I will end it here. I think I made it through my first unscripted video, and you can laugh at me in the comments. Thanks.